Sewing with a clean, well-maintained machine is so much easier and makes sewing more fun. So join me as I guide you through the simple steps of cleaning and maintaining your modern machine or your vintage machine. To make it easy to follow along and to help you remember when you do this on your own, we've made a handy checklist that's a downloadable PDF that you can find in the description below. And that's a great thing just to pin up in your sewing room to remind you, not just what to do, but just to remind you to do it, because it's so easy to forget. What we try to do is oil and clean the machine every time we change the bobbin. So I'll walk you through the steps first on our modern machine, and then I'll repeat the series with a vintage machine. And of course, you're going to have a different machine than we have. Everyone's machine is a bit different. So if you don't have a manual, you could look for one online, and it's always smart to read through that ahead of time. But the basics that I'll walk you through really apply to almost every machine. First thing, always turn off your machine and unplug it for safety. Then, what I always do is remove any thread that's in the machine, and with a soft cloth, I wipe any lint from the whole top surface and along the thread path, because that's where the little dust bunnies will build up. So I'll do that, paying careful attention to what's called the presser bar, where the foot attaches, and I would even remove the presser foot so you can give it a gentle wipe down any of the presser bar area, and remove the needle. And the other thing is, every time we clean it, we test the needle. So I'm going to show you a close-up here of how we test the needle. There's a great trick. If you take it and run it perpendicular to the grain of your thumb, and if it creates, if it catches on it, here, it's kind of cutting into it and making a tiny little scratch. That means there's a burr on the needle. If it goes smoothly across, your needle's in great shape. But in this case, I'm feeling it catch across the grain of my nail, so I'm going to replace it when I'm done cleaning. I'm going to remove the throat plate and show you in detail how we clean that, and then the bobbin area. Those are the main points to clean. Please, you go to a quilt shop, you might see compressed air, don't buy it. This is the one thing that is a common mistake. The whole goal of sewing machine maintenance and cleaning is to get the dirt and the dust bunnies and the cotton out of the machine. Compressed air tends to just blow it in deeper to where you can't remove it. So instead of blowing it away, our goal is to pull it out. And we'll do that with a brush or a vacuum or a toothpick or tweezers. I'll show you different ways, but please, no compressed air. So now we want to remove the throat plate and clean underneath where there's a lot of lint that accumulates, especially if you have a burr on your needle that's constantly pulling at the fabric you're sewing and creating a bunch of dust bunnies. On our machine, you push in the corner to pop up the plate. Every machine is a little different, and you'll want to consult your manual. When I show you our vintage machine, you'll see that you actually have to unscrew it. Now, this is where many people would pull out the compressed air and blow this out. Do not do that, please. Instead, use a little brush. Most machines come with a brush, but if you don't have it, you can just use a kid's brush from a watercolor set, but you want something with soft bristles and bristles that won't fall out and get into your machine. So if in doubt, pull on them just to make sure they're in place. Next thing we do is either with the brush, or another thing you can do is a wooden toothpick. Don't use metal where you could accidentally scratch something, but we go in and we gently pull out the dust bunnies. And don't put these on the floor. Don't toss them down, just set them aside, because if you put them on the floor, they'll just end up somewhere else. So bit by bit, we get the dust bunnies and we reach in anywhere you can see. If something's a little too far away, maybe you can do it more easily with a toothpick. Often between the feed dogs, little bits get caught and we can take that out. If you can see something that's hard to get, a pair of tweezers can allow you to pinch and pull out. We have a micro hose attachment set that connects to our vacuum, and that's awesome because you can get into small areas and suck the dust up and the lint up. You're not blowing it in, you're getting it out. So I'm going to work my way all around, getting all the lint I can, and it catches in there. Sometimes I also take my soft cloth and work it in there just to get everything I possibly can. And I make sure to take those little dust bunnies and put them right in the trash. Now it's time to clean the bobbin area. Before opening the door and getting to the bobbin, I take my soft cloth and I wipe down the area underneath where lint always accumulates. Any lint that is in this area on the door, and your machine may load from the top or it may load from the side, but however that bobbin loads, I guarantee you there's going to be lint in the area that you want to clean up. You want to remove the bobbin. And on some machines, this is as far as you can go. What you now see, this area is called the bobbin race, and it gets lots of lint. And I would, with a gentle, soft brush, try to get as much lint as you can. And there's going to be a fair amount probably. Take that out and do not use a sharp object. Some people try to use a pin, but you don't want to accidentally break a piece of metal like the point of a pin, which can cause real damage to your machine. So get in every nook and cranny. Some machines have one additional step. On ours, we can open this up and remove the bobbin race. Our machine allows you to take that out and get in even deeper and do a very, very thorough clean with that brush. Once it's clean, and only once it's clean, you can put a tiny amount of oil right in the area where that bobbin race spins. And make sure that your oil is clear. If your oil is yellow, that means it's old and gummy, and that's a problem. So clear oil is essential. Don't over oil because that will trap lint. But then you reassemble each part. After you've oiled, take your bobbin out of the case and with a soft brush, remove any lint that's in there. There's often a little lint that accumulates there. And then you can just put everything back together and you have a nice, clean machine. I always put a new needle in and replace the clean presser foot back where it was. So now we're going to take a look at cleaning this vintage machine. This is an old Singer, and as I said, everyone's machine is different, so check your manual first, but I'll show you how to deal with the throat plate and the basic cleaning of the bobbin. So with a vintage machine, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to remove the throat plate and then clean underneath. With this one, the throat plate unscrews. So I'm always in the habit of taking a photo first, just in case I forget how things go back together. I remove the needle and unscrew the presser foot. I will clean those. I'll also take the thread off, wipe down everything along the thread path, and then unscrew this throat plate. I'm going to set my screws and my throat plate aside. We'll zoom in here and you will see, whoa, we have a situation. Look at this lint. I just did a whole bunch of sewing on this, and clearly I'm guilty of forgetting to clean it between bobbins. Now, you can see why I'm removing that and not using compressed air. We don't want to blow that in. So I'm going to just go in here with a soft brush once again and do a great job cleaning this all out. If needed, I can use a toothpick for things that are really stuck in the grooves. But I'm going to get all of that nice and clean and dip down in as well. And then I take a soft cloth and work my way around. So this machine is really quite different. You access the bobbin from the side, the top flips up, and I'm going to remove the bobbin, and with a soft brush, once again, work my way all the way around, on top, and in the grooves to remove any dust bunnies. And this one was much cleaner on the side. I think I clean that regularly, but forget to take the throat plate off occasionally because you need a screwdriver. And I've, learned my lesson. Pay attention to it all. Once this is all clean, I do one more wipe down. And again, with clear oil, I'm going to put just a drop between where the metal parts rotate on each other. I'm not going to do a lot of oil. You can check your manual for the details about specific parts that need to be oiled, but this is the most critical one. So now you just put it back together. Put your bobbin back in, close this up, you'll reattach your throat plate, check your needle just like you did on the other machine, put your presser foot back on, and you're good to go. So don't forget, you can download this handy checklist in the description below. And remember, you can subscribe at any point to catch our latest videos. We've got a lot more coming your way to help you enjoy your sewing time.